So I got me something. It ain't nothing special, but I got me a four-wheeler. What do you think? It's going to be a nice added addition to the, you know, I'm going to put, oh, you know what? I didn't notice that. I can put, I've already got a thing for a hitch. But anyways, I got a four-wheeler. This is going to be nice for doing garden/market garden activities next year with a trailer and such. So she starts right up. If I can find the key. Clicker to run. Choke it. Let her warm up. Oh yeah, purrs like a fucking kitten. That's nice. All right. Let me ride it around for a second. I'll get back to you. Today, we are going to expand the compost bin and build I've forgotten the name now that I've started the video. All right, it came to me. Bioreactor. Good God. Good God. Yeah, we've got a decent amount of compost here for when I started it to what we have now. There's actually a decent amount here. So, but what we're gonna do, this is gonna be another fun experiment. So we're gonna use the cage, make it maybe a little smaller. Oh, you know, I wanted to bring this up before we go any further. Look at the Blueberry Snow Dream. We've had multiple frosts. Look at Northern Lights. Look at Black Cherry Crush. Definitely has been affected, and I know I got to clean the yard up so bad. Definitely somewhat affected. Seriously affected. And then the Black Cherry Crush, or excuse me, the Blueberry Snow Dream, which has been the great performer of 2025, seems to be just fine. You know, relatively speaking. We're talking nights in the 20s now. Yesterday morning, I got up, it was 27 degrees. Look at this bud. Look at that. That's freaking crazy. I should nip that off of there. So anyways, yeah, here we are. And so what we're going to do is, I will explain again, because that's what I like doing, is we're going to take this cage off of here. We're going to put a center chicken wire hole in the middle, and then I am going to do a layer of compost, a layer of leaves. Layer of compost, layer of leaves. And then I will turn it periodically throughout the winter, and we'll see what happens. We've got lots of leaves. I got to stay away from the pine because I don't want pine needles really in my compost. And there's a shitload of it over here. So we'll leave that alone. But we've got raking we can do over there. We've got raking we can do over there on the corner of the house. So this might be, I might be biting off more than I can chew right now, but I needed to get outside the house. You know, maybe over here where there's not so many pine needles, I wouldn't mind that kind of thing, but there's leaf material to be had. Plus, the rest of the garden kind of needs to get chucked in there. All these pepper plants need to come down. They're lots of nitrogen source. Okay, here's our setup. Already had the chicken wire right there. I was going to throw cardboard down, but it is quickly approaching winter, so any growth coming up into this will be minimal. But I'm going to throw leaf down first, just as a base layer, and then, you know, a few scoops of compost, kind of as an inoculant. Leaf layer. A few scoops of compost. Leaf layer. I'm gonna go get a tarp because I don't want to walk from there to here and from over there to over here. But that is the plan. And then slowly mix in. I've got some shears to kind of mix in some green material that we have left over in the garden. The wife's outdoor plants are dead. Yeah, there's a Japanese maple that needs to go indoors. Or I might bury it. This was like a bonsai project, but then I realized how hard it is to do bonsai. And it has all this clover growth in it, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so there's green material to work with here. Not the house plants. Monstera, whatever they were, they're dead now. But we've got some leftover peppers that are no good. So plenty of stuff to put in here. And I don't know, we'll probably get it like half full. And then I'll probably turn it once, and then throughout the winter we'll just keep filling it. And then once you know, February, March rolls around, it'll just become a pile that'll turn, and then it should be ready in time for the next outdoor season. The yard is a mess, I know. I think I've said that already. It is bothering me. It's on my mind. Yeah. Ooh, that bucket's got to go in too. That's got JLF in it. Got to get that in the basement. Everybody remind me. All right, we have a leaf pile and a compost pile, and I think I might just mix the green, what's left of the garden, in with the leaf, and then just, so that'll be probably enough nitrogen source. But it's kind of amazing. You just have all this at your disposal in your yard in most places in the northern part of the United States, and it's a great free source of carbon. So yeah, it's chilly out. I've got the hoodie on and thermals on, and I'm still a little cold, but I'm warming up because of the raking. So first things first, I'm gonna go through the garden and take down some of this stuff and add it into the, and then we have soil too. We have waste soil that we can also add to this pile from the pots. Alright, so that's all the pepper plants and the blueberry snowdream, which is pretty much all the way stripped down now. If I had a wood chipper, my kingdom for a medium-sized wood chipper, because I could chip all that stem up and, you know, be kind of kick-ass to have that also put in. But here we are. We've got more plant material to work with the other two plants. And yeah, so now we're just gonna add layers, and we've got 4 pots of waste soil to use as well. That'll go in, so nothing's going to waste here for the most part. Yeah, so back and forth layers, and come up here, see how that goes. I'm going to put this on top of the chicken wire because I don't want to get things inside the chicken wire. Oh yeah. So that's about the layer I'm going for. let's just do that. I'm just gonna mix it in with the leaf material without poking too many holes in the tarp. And then we'll, that'll just be a part of our carbon mix here. So compost time, let's do that. Right. That flattened it right out, which is what I was hoping for. And like, you know, I understand that the leaves are gonna mat and probably cause some issues, but I'm okay with that. I will take this apart on occasion and turn it and mix it up, and eventually the leaf matting will go away. It's October 27th, so we've got a few months to play around with this. Or it'll fail miserably, but this is what we're going with. So, yeah, I'm gonna see if I can, if I have enough material here to make it up to the top of the chicken wire. All right, fun fact: this is my first time doing this. If you haven't noticed, I highly recommend doing like a perforated pipe deal because the chicken wires fight me. We have no egress of material. But I did have to tie it up to keep it upright because it kept tipping over. So, but we're cruising along. This is like 5 layers. And we're like that right now. Yeah, so nothing seems to be getting in to the chicken wire center, our sort of smokestack, if you will. Running out of leaf. Decent amount, about half, put half of the compost bin in so far, so we're probably gonna have to rake again. And it's getting dark-ish. But I'm gonna keep chugging along, and I'll see you when I'm like, I don't know, most of the way done with this project. All right, that's as far as we got today. Looking pretty clear down there. As we get up to the bigger 4-inch holes, there's a little bit of loss that we can rake up and toss back in. But that's pretty good. It's a couple feet. It's a little darker towards the bottom because of the older, drier, more dead maple leaves. And then this is like a more yellow maple leaf mixed in with like a beech, I think. So I don't think that'll matter. But I figured I'd stop. So yeah, I put another layer of the chicken wire on, had to tie it off. But I figured I'd stop and wait until tomorrow when I have more daylight, and we'll add the rest of the green that's on these, what's left of these cannabis plants. They're not very green, but you know, it's there and I want to use it all. Again, it would be sweet if I had a wood chipper. It would be sweet. But you get a better idea of stem size. You know, this is the blueberry snowdream. It was the biggest plant, but smallest, I guess you'd call them main stems. Oh yeah, we got a little compost left. There's a touch in there. So yeah, we'll get this thing right to the top hopefully, and then maybe what I'll do is we'll do an experiment with just leaf. Fill one to the top with leaf and just keep filling it and see what happens. So that might be next on the agenda. But yeah, for now, this will have to do. It's going to rain like a sumbitch here in a few days, so this will get wet because it's pretty dry. And maybe we'll see some steam come out of this center tube here. Again, probably should have gone to Lowe's and gotten just a perforated pipe, called it a day, but you know how it is. Trying to do things on the cheap here. Anyways, I'll see you back when, I don't know, when I feel like I'm done with this project. Got a little pumpkin going in. Oh, that just cracked me right in the nose. Yeah, a couple pumpkins, a couple heads of lettuce. Just kind of chopping them up with the shovel before we pop them in and add another layer. But the layering continues. I try to buy US made stuff whenever I can. You know how it is. You got to do what you got to do sometimes, but when it's like something like this, a rake, sure, why not? It doesn't cost much more from the hardware store. But it's a year old, man. It's a year old. Alrighty, so we have been adding to the pile for about a week now, slowly chipping away at it. And in true me fashion, you know, I tend to do things first and research after. So people are going to say, this is not technically a Johnson Sioux or whatever bioreactor. Johnson Sioux? I'm probably saying that wrong. Or I'm saying it right. I don't know. Because it's not elevated. And I think a typical bioreactor has 6 perforated pipes. And then it's usually wrapped. But I have seen on the interwebs this done, this exact style done before, direct contact with the ground. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And I did stick my hand in here this morning, and there was warmth coming out of it. So it's doing something. And it has settled. You can actually sort of see the stratification going on here. More maples on the bottom, really dry brown maples, and then up top we've got some more yellowy green stuff. We kind of got into the pine a little bit, unfortunately, but that hopefully won't be a massive issue. And it keeps settling. Like every day I'd come out here and it'd be a couple inches shorter, so things are happening. It's going to rain. But other than that, whoa, wrong way. She seems to be going okay. And as for the straight leaf bin, we're going to use that cage. And we're not going to do a center hole. We're just going to fill it, and it's just going to be a leaf mold bin. And I think what'll end up happening is, if my calculations are correct, is I'll have to end up breaking this open and turning it a few times, and it'll probably just become a traditional compost pile, which is fine. But I'm trying to get enough compost as a mulch usage as possible for the garden next year. And we're done for the day because that fucking happened. Yeah. I probably should scoop all this into the old bin and call it a day. Just so we've got some kind of cooking in here. But yeah, so I'll report back when we have the leaf bin ready, and I don't know, I'll probably update over the months. One of the other things I did a little reading on is bioreactors aren't supposed to freeze. You know, what did I say? No contact with the ground, blah blah blah. But I'm confident this will work just fine. There's layer after layer of compost in here, finished compost. So I think we're gonna be all right. You can see it right there. There's a nice little layer of compost. The 4-inch fencing's probably a little wide, so we're getting a little lost around the outside, but I ain't worried about it. All right, we're back. And you know how it goes. Everything I was going to try and do, we're going to undo now. I've decided to just turn this into a straight compost bin. We're going to pull. We're running out of daylight. I just got home from work, so we gotta hustle up here. I'm going to pull the center chicken wire tube. We're going to do away with the bioreactor idea for now. We'll revisit it some other time. I'm going to crack the cage open. Turn this. Maybe I can just turn it right inside. That might be tough. I'm going to agitate it a little bit, and then if I have enough time, I will add some more leaf material. And I've got some more things to put in, and there's some fish guts, actually, unless animals have fucked with it. It doesn't look like they have. It's underneath the leaf. Underneath there. And we'll add all that in, and we'll call it a day, and that will be the bin for the winter. And I'll have to try and come out here and turn it, but it is getting cold, and this thing will brick up eventually, which is okay. And at some point I would like to add some labs to this, and maybe we might try like a hot water deal to try and keep it alive, or maybe jumpstart some things in the early spring. But for now, we're just going to turn it into a traditional chicken wire compost bin. And I might wrap it as well with some geotextile, or whatever you want to call it, garden fabric, just to keep the flavor sealed in, so to speak. So, anyways, running out of daylight. I think that's why people do bioreactors, and then they just pull their tubes out after a while, because it'll just kind of stay, it'll hold its shape. Yeah, there's like a little bit of warmth there. It's about 30 degrees out. Yeah. So I'll scoop in some, I think I'm going to turn it first. Okay, I was turning this, and you can actually see some, obviously there's some moisture in this, because it's been raining and raining, and snowing, and then raining. I swear to God, look at, there's a little bit of snow right there. But we do have some decomposition going on here. There's a stick. I'm going to leave it. I'm a rebel. But there's definitely some breakdownage. Whoa, we're getting caught on the cage. There's definitely some remnants of the old compost, or the semi-finished compost that I mixed in. But we're definitely getting some composting going on here, and there's a touch of warmth to it. This was towards the middle of the pile. I filled the hole in, and yeah, it's exciting. I don't know why every time I do a compost bin, I get really fired up about heat and steam coming out of it. I know I'm doing something right. So I'm going to continue turning this as best I can, and then I'll add some more leaf in, and we'll call it at that. I think in the next video, the next compost video, I might try and do some labs. I may have mentioned that before, and then try some maybe waterings throughout the winter. This might sound crazy, but maybe put some warm water in just to keep it alive. Who knows? And I'd also like to wrap this with like a gardening fabric, or whatever you call it there. Geotextile, whatever the hell it's called. Marify, every name but the name it's called. Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah. Pretty straightforward. Everybody knows how to do compost, right? I'm just showing you how I do it. We bailed on the bioreactor, but I think for bioreactors are supposed to be long-term after doing some reading. And this is some compost I want to have done by, May of next year, 2026. So we got to get the ball moving here. I want it nice and dark and complete. So we're going to be turning it and messing with it, unlike a bioreactor, which you're supposed to leave it sitting. So I am rambling. That is it for this video. I will see you next time. Hope everybody has a great Christmas if I don't upload by then. Over and out. I got a new rake, by the way.